to the world, asking questions, offering clarification. If you have evidence from the text, if you go around to one up there as well, you can bring your book and your journal with you if you like, so that you have that evidence with you. I'll have you guys grab a marker before I send you to your individual posters. I've kind of made some additional room on the posters since they were getting a little squished, but feel free to write in the blank spaces. Up here, I have some whiteboard markers, so this will all be the blank space. We will take the last 15 minutes to debrief the process as well as address some of the individual questions. So you will have time to talk, which will be great for some of you. But it is important that during this discussion, it's a silent discussion. It's you, your pen, your reading, your writing, your thinking. Questions on the process? There are 6 essential questions, 1 on each poster. And they have time throughout the class to go to each poster. And posters have been up since 4th period, so this is the 3rd period to do responses. And what they do is respond to the central question, respond to what other students have written, ask questions, make connections, really just interact with the central text we're working with right now is Frederick Douglass. And really just have a silent dialogue, essentially. And then about every 5 minutes or so I switch them to a new poster, so they have a chance to get around to each of them. And then at the end of the class period, we debrief the process as well as poster 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4 is in the middle, 5, and 6. Grab a marker, head to your poster. Once you're at your poster, no talking. That people from other classes have made. Respond to them. Ask questions of them. Don't just write a response and be done with it. Interact with the text, interact with each other a bit more. You have about another minute and a half or so at this poster, so you definitely have time to do some more interactions. As you finish up your response, go ahead and rotate on to the next poster. Briefing the process. So, what were your thoughts on the process of the chalk talk, the silent discussion? Yes?
I liked it a lot because there wasn't like the problem of people overlapping each other and like people wanting to say something but then they couldn't if they were too shy or if they were too overbearing, like some people. No names mentioned. We were all able to just get our thoughts out on paper, although it was kind of tiring after a while. But other than that,
life's so hard.
I know.
Thank you, Felix.
I think an improvement would be if we could like go around the second time to like see what other people wrote on what we said.
Yeah.
That is an excellent suggestion, and I think. Because when I put this up today, sometimes I'll do it where just your class has the discussion. Today, it's all 3 classes. I think that's a good idea, particularly if it's just your class's discussion. And so next time we do this, I'll try and build that in. Great. Yes?
I really like this because it kind of shows, like, it actually, as from a teacher's perspective, it shows who really gets it and who really doesn't get it. And if there are some people who don't get it, I mean, I guess there's always, you can better explain it to people. So I think from their perspective, it'd be really good. But, I think it's really good.
Good. Yes, definitely capturing a lot of thinking here. Yes, Minzer.
Okay, so I think it's like good having the other class periods on there because then you can see like what the other classes thought about the book and what they took from it instead of just like our class period because we have discussions kind of already, so like being able to see like what the other people think helps.
Yeah, definitely a good point. That was kind of a last minute decision. I had planned to have a new piece of paper for each class. And then after fourth period, it was like, maybe we'll just leave it and see how this goes. So, interesting. Yes?
On Katie's comment, but you wouldn't know who understands it and who doesn't. You sign your name after each comment. So you still
Yeah, I think if I look around after class and notice some big holes in understanding, it's probably something I'll address with everybody. But that is, the anonymity of it does provide some good things. It's maybe some safety, but then it also provides some bad things. Not knowing maybe who doesn't get something. Or, as we know in the computer age, some people can kind of abuse that anonymity too. So, yes?
I like it because I think that sometimes it's easier to write something down on paper than to verbally express what you're thinking, so everybody can get out their thoughts without having to try and put it into words. Well, verbally.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yes, Brittany.
It's good because you also get different opinions, so you might not have thought about it, and so then you're like, oh, this is really true, or it might help in changing your opinion.
Good, that's one thing that I liked when I saw walking around is not only were people responding to each other with, oh, agreed, there were questions. Oh, well, you think this, explain, how, why. So good interaction, yes?
I also like this because like with the writing it, it's easier to follow your thought and keep your thought going when you're writing it, because when you're talking, you like have a tendency kind of to forget what you're talking about when your distraction comes up. So when you're writing, it's like you can still look back on the previous words you wrote, and it brings back the thought that you were thinking, and just you can keep going and going.
There's a different focus that comes with writing versus speaking. Sometimes we get distracted. Yes, Ashley.
Well, one thing I think, I don't know if I know if it's like good or bad, but like compared to like the spoken discussion, I think that this activity is a lot more broad than in depth because you have like, a lot of different conversations and things going on at one time instead of just everyone focusing on the one idea that is spoken on. And so I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's just a different way than in the spoken conversation.
That's a good point. Definitely. Other thoughts on the process? Yes.
There's also like, to all the writing, when you look at the pieces of paper and how much paper it took to write all these answers, it shows that like, it wasn't just a few people who were willing to comment and who were actually going deep into thought. It shows like that majority of the people, they even the quiet ones, they actually put all that they were thinking onto the paper, so they weren't as like shy or nervous to share what they were thinking as because they're writing it and people don't know it's them. So it kind of offers like a kind of a little safeness to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody has time and space to interact.